I believe the next massive Path of Exile 2 announcement will occur at Gamescom 2024 during the opening night live ceremony on August 20th, starting at 2:00 p.m. Eastern. This is not confirmed, this is all speculation, but I have 10 massive predictions I would like to share with all of you today. We're going to be listing them from the most unlikely to the most likely, starting with number 10. Before we do, a little bit of housekeeping. My second daughter is due to be born on August 20th, so I may be dark for a little bit. We'll have to see how the birth goes or if it happens earlier. If you would like updates on that, I do tweet a lot or X a lot over on Twitter, x.com/talkativetry. So join me there. Anyways, let's get into the video. Exiles. Prediction number 10. Cinematics will be revealed to be a thing in PoE2. This is something that a lot of people have requested. They want PoE2 to have cinematics to compete with the likes of Diablo 4 and Blizzard. I don't think they would ever be able to afford the type of cinematics that beat out Blizzard, but just having cinematics in the game would be rad, even using the in-game engine, a lot like Diablo 4 did. Maybe this will be revealed at Gamescom while they're trying to appeal to a broader audience. It would showcase that PoE2 has the merit to be a true story-based game. Because from my experiences with this story, it's wonderful. Prediction number 10, Zana returns. I think we'll get a trailer during opening night live, maybe 2-3 minutes long. And maybe, what if Zana reappears in that trailer? I know the greater gaming community wouldn't understand the importance of that happening or the momentous occasion that it would turn out to be, but everyone in the PoE community would be like, oh my goodness, it's Zana, this is absolutely wild. So that's why it's number 9. I don't think it's very likely, but I had to add it to the list. Credits to Omega Cybers for this idea. Number 8, crafting. Now, again, I don't know if this appeals to the broader gaming community. Lots of people have been very excited to see how Path of Exile 2 will do crafting. With the Master Bench, which systems from PoE1 will be coming, will there be bestiary, fossils, essences, and the like? I don't think this is flashy enough to showcase at Gamescom on the stage during a trailer. However, maybe if it is being revealed during Gamescom, it'll be available during the booth, and there might be an upcoming video on the Path of Exile 2 channel showcasing how crafting works, since a lot of people are wondering, how exactly are we going to be able to make items in PoE2, and will it be bare bones like other games were upon release, even Path of Exile 1? Number 7 is something just out of left field, and this is just something we wouldn't expect, kind of like the announcement of mounts in Path of Exile 2 with the Roas, right? This is something like a world boss instance, not an open world, but a world boss you could go and fight with 4 other players at certain times. That would be wild to be introduced, and it would be very divisive. I probably wouldn't enjoy that. I'd be against it. Other stuff would be a league overhaul, like showcasing how Delve works in PoE2, or Heist, or Harvest, or Ancestor League, or Bestiary, showcasing an old league from PoE1 and how it's being transferred to PoE2. I don't think that's something we would get, but it would be awesome if we did. And then finally, maybe showcasing how hideouts work in Path of Exile 2 and how hideouts in PoE2 could be King's March. I've long been saying this idea of hideouts in PoE2 being an island that you build up just like King's March, because King's March will exist in Path of Exile 2. It's the Act 4 town. But what if you're building your own King's March on one of the many islands out there, and that turns into your hideout, and it becomes a passive source of income, and you can get quests from there, and all the bells and whistles. It would be awesome, and that'd be very cool to announce, given the positive reception of King's March and Settlers of Kalgur. Number 6 is new acts, or more accurately, a new act, because we've seen snippets of acts 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The only act we have not seen is act 6. Remember, it used to be a 7-act campaign all the way up to 2021, and then they cut it down to 6 acts. We've seen snippets. I think the Mercenary trailer was in Act 5. I think the Ranger one also was in Act 5, but we've seen nothing from Act 6. We've seen the Island Act, that's Act 4. We've seen the Jungle Act, that's Act 3. The Desert Act, Act 2. And then Act 1. We all know and love Act 1. That's the one we've seen the most of. Act 6 is shrouded in mystery. I posit that this will be taking us away from Rayclast into a totally new area. I think it's going to be PoE's version of Hell. And that's Beyond. It would be absolutely rad, and with all the Beyond story and the Scourge and the like being in the Path of Exile 1 story for the past few years, I really think they're setting that up to be a fundamental part of the Path of Exile 2 story and campaign. Number 5 is a class reveal, and specifically the Duelist, Marauder, or Shadow. You might be noticing something is missing from the list. We'll get to that in a moment. I don't think they're going to reveal a class, but if they were going to reveal another one, it would be at Gamescom. It's very flashy. It appeals to a broad set of the public. It would be awesome to see another new class because with every single class reveal, we're talking about the druid, the mercenary, the witch, they seem to be setting the bar higher and higher and higher. If they were to reveal one of these classes, people would go absolutely berserk. The reason I don't think this might be likely is because they said there will only be 8 classes in early access, very likely. That could have changed, and maybe there would be another one, but given we've already seen 8 classes with all the other prior reveals, I don't think we're going to get another class reveal until early access has launched in either November or December. Number 4 is a class though, and that is the Templar. Everybody is begging to see the Templar, and it's slightly because of how Diablo 4 announced the Spiritborn, and it's not a paladin, and people really want that archetype in one of the best new ARPGs, so people are hungry for this holy warrior archetype. They want to see how flails work, what skills will function with those. So this, if they're going to announce a class, I think it's going to be the Templar. They've also talked a lot about how Righteous Fire might work in PoE2 and how it doesn't work the same as in PoE1. People are just hungry for this. So if they are going to reveal a class, I think it will be the Templar. Number 3, we're getting to more and more likely here, Ascendancies. Everyone has been waiting since 2019 to see more Path of Exile 2 Ascendancies. If you remember back to ExileCon 2019, we did get a glimpse of the Beastmaster and the Tactician and some concept art for a Marauder and a Witch Ascendancy at the time. Obviously, many things have changed. I brought up Ascendancies in my interview with Jonathan Rogers in March of this year with some leaked Ascendancy names from a press kit. Those include the Arcane Archer for the Ranger, the Earthshaker for the Warrior, and the Shaman for the Druid. He did not confirm those Ascendancies were in the game. He did, though, confirm they had a lot of work done on the Ascendancies. They just didn't want to showcase them to the broader public until they were ready. Well, we are about, at maximum, 4 months away from the early access starting. We gotta see the Ascendancies now. I think they have to have some of them pretty close to done and in a polished enough state for the public to see. If they want to show them off at Gamescom. People understand Ascendancies. They're prestige classes, they're subclasses, they're in many facets of different RPGs out there from World of Warcraft to Dungeons & Dragons. Showcase them at Gamescom, give people some time to play them at the booth, and people are going to eat it up absolutely. I think we're going to see these during the trailer, and then we're going to have a 10 to 15 minute breakdown of, let's say, 8 Ascendancies, 1 for each of the classes that will be available in early access. Maybe not 8, maybe 4 of the 8, and the other 4 we will discover once early access launches. Getting down to the wire here, number 2, Endgame. Everyone understands Endgame, every single type of ARPG player out there. It's what you do after you finish the campaign. And after lots of ARPGs have launched with a very unfinished Endgame state, including Path of Exile 1 all the way back in 2013, people are voracious. They want to see how Path of Exile 2 is going to start off with Endgame, because GGG have claimed it will not lack an Endgame. It's going to be very much like Path of Exile 1's. They need to back that statement up with some actual content. We have not seen anything from Endgame now. All the acts should be finished. They should have been able to play from step 1 to step X, and X being the entrance into Path of Exile 2's version of maps. Jonathan Rogers was very clear about the fact that they did not want to boost up the character to whatever level starts at mapping. They wanted to play a character from level 1, washing up on the shores of the riverbank, fighting the bloated miller, getting all the way through the campaign, fighting all the act bosses, and then entering maps naturally. I applaud them for that. Other games don't necessarily take that approach. They wanted to, and I feel like since they said they would be done with the bulk of the content by June, and it's now August, they've had time to test out Endgame a little bit. Maybe they're going to showcase it here. I'm pretty confident that we're going to see some Endgame at Gamescom. And then the number one thing, the early access launch date. If there is a trailer for Path of Exile 2 during Gamescom at Opening Night Live, or there's any mention of PoE2 at all on the main stage, it is going to come with an early access release date. It's just happening. It has to happen. We are about 4 months out from the end of the year. If we are getting early access in 2024, now is the time. Gamescom is the last big stage in gaming. You're going to hit a massive audience of millions of people watching online. There's going to be a massive crowd in the arena itself. This is the time to blow everyone's minds and say, PoE2 is available in November, specifically on November 29th. I think the trailer is going to end, if there's a trailer. Path of Exile 2 starts early access November 29th, 2024. That's my prediction. Let's see if it actually happens. I have no inside information, so this is me just totally guessing. I really think that's the date, and if we get anything at all for PoE2 on the main stage, it's gonna end with an early access launch date. If we get none of the other stuff on this list and only this launch date, and it's 100% carved in stone, sent off and being delivered, I will be happy. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Are my predictions correct? Do you think we'll actually get anything at Gamescom, or is this complete hopium and copium, whichever one suits better there? Now, if you did like the video, make sure to hit the like button, and if you want more PoE1 and PoE2 content in the future, like this, unscripted, scripted, and the like, make sure you subscribe to Talkative Try right now. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, I might go dark for a little bit here because my second daughter is being born. We'll see what happens. Hopefully everything goes smoothly. Anyways, I will see you in the next video. Talakura, my fellow exile.